Running a brokerage is hard work, so whether you're focused on building your own sales pipeline, hiring the best agents, leveling up your team's production, or protecting the culture you've built, you're in the right place. Real estate brings the challenges, and we share the solution. Welcome to the show dedicated to broker entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Brokerpreneur Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow. I'm here with our resident website specialist, as well as the big guy.
That's the first time anyone's ever called me that. Unless you're talking about somebody crashing a website.
Yeah, Matt is definitely the king of crashing a website. Matt Vi. How's it going, Matt?
You caught me like a waiter mid-drink there. So doing absolutely fantastic, Ben, as usual, per usual.
Yeah, per usual. You gave your dog a haircut today.
I did, yep.
Yeah.
Griffin McSniffin, greatest dog ever.
Yeah. I don't have a dog, so I can't argue.
Yep. Well, you're allergic to him, right?
I just agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Griffin. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. That's proof.
Right.
I'm allergic to dogs, but I cannot not pet Griffin.
Right.
So
he pet Griffin, he touched his eye and his eye swelled up.
Yeah, exactly. I look like Hitch. So Matt, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about websites, specifically career pages on websites. We're going to dig into that a little bit. I know we've talked about it some in the past. I'm going to, something's come up that I just want to kind of throw out there.
All right, I like it. I told you guys he's a website expert. I didn't even know what we were talking about. And he's like, "Oh, we're going to talk about websites."
Yep.
I may or may not have known. If no matter where you're listening to this or watching this, make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button, guys. We'd really appreciate that. Let's YouTube and all these other platforms know that we do a great job. Also, go check out the links in the description below and register for Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. It's every Friday.
Yep.
We meet from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. It is Matt and Matt and I, live with brokers from across the country, other listeners, and just, we answer your questions. We talk about anything, recruiting, retention, and agent productivity, basically just how to scale a brokerage. We really appreciate you guys being there. We just love to meet you and collaborate with you in person.
Absolutely.
So Matt,
and it's every size brokerage and franchise, independence, and all that kind of stuff. The common thread between everybody is hustle.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if either people that are hustling already and they're like, hey, I want to be around other people that are hustling, or people that are like, all right, I need to get hustling.
Yeah.
And they're coming in and doing that. So that's absolutely. And whenever I say hustling, I don't mean just running around chasing their tail, being active. Right. I mean people that are out there getting done what they need to get done being a broker. So
that's exactly right.
It's our people.
Yep. So Matt.
Yeah, Ben.
Careers, we talked. You just mentioned websites, career pages, that kind of thing. You know how I am. I'm always thinking about the listener.
Right.
Just give me a definition. Tell me what a careers page is, just in case someone doesn't even have one, or they're just like, what's a careers page?
Yeah. So that's actually a great point because I think a lot of people have something labeled as a careers page, and all it is a shitty funnel.
See, guys, how he just flipped that on me? I'm just like trying to get a definition, and he's like, nah. Here's a teaching
moment.
Man,
I just look at these sites of so many people, and I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
So here's the big one, right? Oh, and I'm sorry if this is on your site. I don't mean any disrespect by it, and if you're crushing it with this, I'd love to hear how you're crushing it with this.
Yeah.
Okay. But a lot of people on their page, they've got a button on the navigation bar that says "Join Now," right?
Yeah. You know it.
Does anybody ever click on Join Now and Join Now?
Yeah.
I'm just a sarcastic question.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. If they do, that's killer. I'd love to hear the steps. Well, hang on. I'd love to hear all the steps that got to that point of that person actually clicking that button and saying Join Now. Because if they do join right now, just by clicking that button, they click on it and they're like, man, this is the brokerage for me. I would be a little worried as a broker. I'd make sure I vetted that really well.
Yeah.
Make sure it ended up being, my people, right? But I think what probably happens a lot of the time is we think that we're creating a call to action. And in my opinion, that's a false call to action. Okay? Is there a place for a Join Now button? Join Now? Is there a place for a Join Now button on a careers page actually? Yeah, maybe there is. Have you heard enough and you want to schedule an appointment to Join Now? Something like that, yeah, maybe, right? Or are you using your careers page? Are you sending that out to have that Join Now button after the person has met with you? Have we met? Did you like what we had to say?
Yeah.
Are you ready to make the transition? Join now. Man,
Yeah.
I can see that, right?
Yeah.
But to just have join now on your navigation button comes across a little desperate to me.
Yeah, it shows like we'll take anybody.
Yeah. I think it does, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear everybody's comments on this, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody out there is like, Matt, you're an idiot. This is why it's good, right? I'd
Yeah.
love to hear that if that's the case.
Yeah, yeah. If any of you who are like, Matt, you're an idiot, like my email is ben@prospectboomerang.com. I'd be more than happy to read those aloud on a future episode.
Yep, that'd be awesome. So yeah, join now is a big, right? Okay. Here's what I think we run into, and this is why I kind of skirted the whole careers page, whatever it is, right? Why are they going to your site? What is it that they're trying to get from your site that is that portion of your site? Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times the issue that I have is the career page is just some extra part of the template that some guy that threw a real estate template together decided to add that piece to you, or there's some specific company that's like, oh, we specialize in helping you with your careers page and all that.
Yeah.
And then you go look at their careers page or their join us page or their whatever the hell page it is and everything. And it's such generic stuff, right? I'm going to be really careful with all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a certain franchise that's a big franchise.
Yeah.
That if you go to the broker's site, the franchise careers page is what's being used, and it's literally the same exact video on
Everybody.
right. And so, okay. So if and I get it, maybe it's local, right? Maybe nobody's going to see it, but this franchise is big enough that it's probably not the only one in your town.
Oh, yeah.
And so let's say that you did drive somebody to your page and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to be a Betty Sue or a Jimmy Joe's. No, they both have the same franchise. I'm going to go look. What? It's the exact same video? It's the page looks the same?
Yeah.
Man, that would scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
If I'm an agent. There's nothing that sets
Or you
the two
would
of these
think,
apart.
or you would be like, oh, they must work together.
Yeah.
They're the same company.
Right. Yeah. Or it doesn't matter which one. I get the same thing.
Yeah, or if it's like, think about it this way, right? Like Betty Sue, you interview with Betty Sue, and you're like, man, I love Betty Sue with, this brokerage. But she's like a 15-minute drive.
Right.
But it's like, Billy Bob's right around the corner. Oh, they got the same careers pages. Everything looks the same.
Yep.
Like, I love Betty Sue. I'll join this brokerage because I can still work with her.
Because it's the same.
It's the same thing, but this one's just closer.
Absolutely.
And then Betty Sue's like, we had such a great time. We were looking for, oh, yeah, I joined. Wait, come again? What's again? What's that? Yeah, so, yeah, just
Look out.
Look out. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yep. All right. So, okay. So absolutely look out. Absolutely pay attention to making yourself stand out and look different. If you're busy, I get it. Right. Okay. You could listen to our podcast. We got a lot of homework for everybody out of every podcast. I promise. Yep. I get that. Okay. I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing and go change everything when you listen to one of our podcasts.
Yeah.
But I am saying make a damn list and prioritize it so that you can move forward, so that 1 year from now you're not in the same exact situation because you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Clean up your damn curb appeal.
Clean up your damn curb appeal. That's exactly right. So I was going back then.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I know you. Okay. So let's talk about what's on the careers page. If you are a recruit, or if you're an agent or somebody thinking about getting into real estate, what is it that would be on a page that would allow you to make an informed decision about, one, joining that brokerage, and about, two, moving forward in your career in real estate? That's what should be on the careers page.
Gotcha.
It is not some crappy click funnel that tricks people into giving their information so that you can call them back whenever you get ready to call back.
Right.
So somebody downloaded something from our site, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Like I said, we've had some updates on our site, and so we're literally calling everybody and saying, "Hey, did you get this?" Right.
Right.
It is working flawlessly, but I am terrified that somebody's not going to get what they ask for. Okay.
Right.
You know how I am with that, right? So I called and I can't find the person in their phone tree. Okay. And so it says, press 1 if you want to whatever, horrible. Press 2 if you want to horribly state it, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, please get better, please get better. Plus 3 for that, 4 for that, 5 for that. And then finally one of them was like, press 6 or press 7 if you want to join now. And I'm like, oh my, you got to be kidding me. So I go through a couple of times, and I leave messages, and half of the phone tree, when I go to leave a message, it's hanging up on me.
Yeah.
And so then I start laughing. Ben's sitting next to me, and I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, let's see if option 4 works.
Yeah.
And so we click on option 4, and it goes straight to beep for you message, right? And so finally I get to option 7, and option 7 is to join now. And I'm like, please, dear God, just ring this broker's phone, please, 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 right? I press 7, and it just drops the phone call.
Hangs up. Yep.
And I was like, no, that's got to be me, right? I call right back, press 7, same exact thing, drops the phone call. I'm like, this is horrible, right? On so many levels, it's just absolutely terrible. How busy are you that you can't have something like that work the way it's supposed to? Take that option off instead of having it and it doing that.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. People's career page do the same thing.
Yeah.
They just dead end to nowhere. You know how many times I've looked and it goes to a 404 page, 404 error?
So many times I've done that.
And so I'm like, man, you got to be, come on, right?
Yeah.
Remember, what's on that careers page? It's simple. What is it that they need to know about your brokerage to make an informed decision, and what would help move their career forward? That's what needs to be on that page. Somebody should be able to look at that page and get those answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, what can they get from you? That's leads, cost, revenue, expense, training, and culture, right? You hear that from us all the time. What they need to do and what that action item is and that call to action and everything. Think less about the trick of capturing somebody and think more about the value of you having that page, and you're going to get more people to that page. Okay. I think the reason why people struggle with this is they want to turn it into a way to get people's contact information.
Yes.
Okay. And so they go with the simplest step. Hey, here's a little bit of information. If you really want to know, if you want to join now, put all your information in there. That's not helping that agent really understand what it is that you do. That would be kind of like the agent coming in and saying, hey, can you tell me a little bit about your company? Yes, we've been in business 32 years. We have listing presentations. We help with marketing. Join our company now. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Why would your site do that same thing? Okay. So start going through the site. Most people, they have templates.
Of course.
And they've got some kind of web designer because they're paying somebody to do this.
Right.
Use your AI like we've talked about. Put some information together. Put some content. Think about what our agent really needs, and then send it to that web developer and just say, please post this on this page for me. Then you can add some lead magnets. Then you can add some call to actions. Then you can say, join my sales meeting that I hold by Zoom every Tuesday at 2:00. We're going to talk about the market, whatever. You can add some stuff like that is attractive to that, right? Come to this panel class or mastermind that I've got or whatever. Come to BOP Live, right? With something. You can have some other value to that at that point that's going to help them move forward. But first, the page has to really be what a careers page should be about. What do you need to know in order to be in the business here, and how can my company help you accomplish that?
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Ben here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. If sometimes you feel overloaded or alone when it comes to building your brokerage, I want you to know that we are here for you. There's so much support available to agents, but hardly any dedicated to brokers. I want to personally invite you to schedule a complimentary strategy call where Matt will help you build a 3-step profitability plan that will immediately produce results. This is not a sales pitch. There's no obligation. Simply click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show.
I like it. Do you think it's because the careers pages, they're thinking more along the lines of the way that they would get like buyers and sellers? Like with gathering information, do you think there's a mindset there?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's just the maybe the templates are just the companies that...
It's an afterthought.
Yeah, it's just an afterthought.
It's just an afterthought.
Okay. Yeah,
that's an afterthought.
That makes sense. It's like, probably because there's not a tremendous expectation that these are even going to convert.
Right.
So it's like, put something out there so that there's just something there. Yeah, I completely get that.
It's not used as a part of the overall recruiting process. So it's just kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
You should be using your recruiting page 100%. When somebody leaves an interview, you should be sending them to your careers page. Hey, we went over a whole bunch today. I just wanted to make sure you got some stuff on it, that you're able to take away some things that we talked about. Here I'm going to send you some information about some of what we do so that you can kind of really take a close look at it. And then as soon as they leave, your Calendly is automatically sending that to them in a workflow.
Right.
Right? I mean, the Calendly knows when the appointment's over. If they set it at 3 o'clock and it's a 1 hour appointment, then at 4:01, it's going to send the damn email you told it to. So you send that email out that says, hey, great meeting with you, contact name. Here's some information from a Google Drive that, we compiled. Plus here's a link to my, careers page or my, agent page or whatever the hell you want to call it. Here's a link to my page, and it has stuff about you that isn't just about, hey, join me and join now and join us and join. Right? It's like, here's what we do, and here's our civic, what we do from a civic organization. Here's an example of one of our sales meetings. Here's one of this, and here's some of that, and download these 4 for sale by owner letters if you're deciding to generate business from a for sale by owner. Put those on there. If you want these 4 for sale by owner letters, put your email address and your phone number here, and we'll send it to you, and then we'll text you to make sure you've got it. That's how you get them to. That's how you make that page work. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
But if all you're doing is saying, "Hey, I hope you stumbled across my site, and by the way, join now." Click on join now, and then I'm going to tell you a few things that kind of halfway matter. They're the same things you can get from anybody else. But as soon as you contact me, I'll get back with you later. Yeah. Really? Is that the whole process of this? No shit. It's not working. Yeah. Right? It has to be an intelligent part of your overall process. It has to be a component to it that you're leveraging the right way. It's great if somebody comes across it and they're just organically looking, rock on. Some new agent that's taking a look at all the companies that are in their area and they find your website. I love that. I love it if that's how that happens. Yeah. But that's not how it's going to be used most of the time. It's going to be used. You're going to post something on social media that says, hey, we had a great sales meeting today and we talked about AI and the impact it has on the marketplace. If you're an agent out there and you're trying to figure out what's going on with AI, click on this link, scroll to the bottom where it says sales meeting, and you can watch the entire meeting. And I hope it enjoys you and helps you. I hope you enjoy it and helps you with your business. Then they go to the careers page and they see 98 other kick-ass things on it. Yeah. And down at the bottom, there's the video of your sales meeting from yesterday, and you take the clip of when you talked about AI and you put that on there, and you're driving it with social media to push people there. That's how you use that page.
That's so much work, though.
It is so much work. Completely, wholeheartedly agree.
Right? Like
do you want to win or don't you?
Yeah, and I get it. Right? I mean, we do that stuff. I'm just saying, from a broker standpoint,
I get it.
They're thinking, gosh, Matt, I'm already spending 40% of my time recruiting every day.
You better not be.
Right? I mean, that's what everybody tells them to do.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I'm already doing that, right? I have awesome meetings that I got to go to and report all my numbers.
Right.
Right? How do I have time to record and video all my sales meetings and link them in a page? I don't even know how to use a web, how to build a website and this, that, and the other. How does so preach to me a little bit on mindset here. How does someone say, yeah, I want my careers page to be badass, but that sounds like a lot of work. Mm-hmm. How does someone overcome that? Because I think that's probably the biggest. I think most people listening would say, correct. You know what, he's right. My careers page sucks. Yeah, that would be really cool to have all these links and all this value add. Mm-hmm. How does someone change their mindset and get past that?
Decide whether it's going to be part of your strategy. And if it's part of your strategy, either hire it out or learn to do it. It's that simple. Yeah. Decide first. Yeah. And then act.
Gotcha.
And so there's some companies that have decent career pages that you can buy from them. We have stuff that you can use of ours that's kick-ass, right? There's things that you can leverage, and there's ways that you can do it that can help you build your business. Completely agree, but you have to decide to begin with if that's what you really want. Yeah. If that's not what you want, man, write this down, put it on a Post-it, and set it aside until later. If it is not a priority, I get it. Just don't ignore it and have a join now page that has the opposite effect on your recruiting. Turn that page off. Yeah. Get it off your navigation bar. Most people's career page, from what I've seen, I shouldn't say most, a lot of brokers would be better off not even having a careers page compared to the careers page that they have. Would you put a listing out there with crappy photos and the toilet seats are up, and there's towels on the bathroom floor, and there's dirty dishes in the sink.
Would I, or do people?
It's totally the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
No,
you would.
I wouldn't.
But the point is, if you're not putting your best foot forward, you're having the opposite effect of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, I think probably a good way to look at it, again, this is how I look at things. Completely different than Matt. Not really. But go to Google Analytics, right? Google Analytics has all this information. And go to the URL that is your careers page, or whatever you call your page.
Right.
See how many people go to it.
Yep.
If it is heavily trafficked,
and you don't get anything off
and
it,
you don't get anything off of it, then man, this should be part of your strategy.
Completely agree.
If your careers page gets no traffic, then turn
it off and circle back later.
Turn it off and circle back later. But you may be missing out on recruits, and Google Analytics is free, and you just go in and log into your Gmail, whatever's associated with your website, and it'll give you all that information absolutely for free.
And if you don't know where to go from there, get on a Friday call and Ben will walk you through it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Get on a BNSS.
Yeah.
Get on one of those, and Ben will Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society, and Dr. Ben will walk you through it. So what should be on the careers page, right? Because I wanted to make sure that we hit on this. It's got to demonstrate who you are.
Yep.
Okay. So there has to be culture things in there. Okay. Has to demonstrate a little bit about how you do business, meaning how you generate it and things along that line. Okay. So you need to make sure that you talk a little bit about that. If all you do is buy web leads, then you find a great way of saying, we generate business through sources that are consistent, reliable, and whatever. If you generate all your business through sphere of influence, then you make sure that you talk about that on the page so that people are attracted to that. Okay, that's absolutely part of it. You have to be able to demonstrate why they should trust you on that page. That's where testimonials really come into play, right? Don't skimp on the things that are the job description. Okay, so. If you want to be a great real estate agent, have a paragraph, that says, hey, great real estate agents, they all have these things in common. Here's the 11 things that they have in common, or here's the 6 things they have in common, or here's the 94 things they have in common. Whatever it is that you believe, put that on there. Make sure that people know that, because that's going to help them decide whether they fit your brokerage or not. Yeah. This is not just about getting somebody to decide to send something to you so that they can start deciding whether you're the right company or not. You want to use this to help vet them a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to make sure you're getting the right people, not too much,
right?
But a little bit, absolutely. And then there has to be the call to action things like we talked about, before. So.
Yeah. And I'm going to add one last thing. I've been doing a lot of talking this episode, guys, so you're welcome.
Love it.
I want to add one last thing, which is it's really easy on careers pages or any kind of type, sales type pages, to put things on there that you feel like people want to hear. Matt talks all the time about, in your interviews, don't just assume, this person wants to grow their production, or this person wants to scale back or build a team or go into property management, whatever. Don't put on your careers page just what you think people want to hear. Put on there truly what your brokerage culture is and what it has to offer. Because if it's all of my brokers do, or all of my agents do 20 million plus, or they're all just experts in luxury, or they're all experts in whatever. Because
unless that's really what you want.
Unless that's really what you want. Mm-hmm. But if you're thinking that, hey, that's just what they want to hear, I'm just trying to sell the interview.
Right.
Then be careful what you put on there from a copy standpoint.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, you don't want to be something else when they show up, I guess.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it goes back to the whole dog jumping up on you whenever you ring the door for the listing appointment, pushing the dog off you after you've said, I love animals in all of your marketing, right? You got to be who you say that it is. That's a great point, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. First one ever. Awesome, guys. Well, Matt, anything else before I put a little bow on this?
No, this is an important one. Again, if you can't do something about it right now, make a note until you can do something about it. But if you're not capable of doing something, find somebody that can.
Yeah, that's a great point. Go and look at other people's careers pages. Find the ones that you like. Typically down at the bottom,
It says the company.
it says the company that built that one, and so you'll be able to find that and maybe connect with them. So, guys, Matt, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Every time we have
So
you
grateful
on,
for you on here.
always bring so much good content, and it's an absolute pleasure. But if you're watching this and listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, any of those platforms, Matt, make sure to hit that follow button. If you're watching it on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside it. You get notified every time we drop a new episode. Throw a like on there if you're on YouTube. Add a comment. Again, just helps the algorithm push our recruiting and brokerage growth podcast to top of the list. And
Share it.
Yeah,
if you like
share
it.
it.
If you like this episode, share it with somebody. If you got a broker that's a friend that has a crappy careers page, send us one to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even have to say nothing. Just say, "Hey, look what I came across."
yeah, and I'm gonna say this to your friend: you need to change your careers page. So you can just tell them to hop on over to the timestamp of 25:32 and tell them to start there. But yeah, go over to brokerpreneurpodcast.com. Check out all the cool things we have to grow your brokerage no matter what phase or stage of the business that you're in.
Yep.
Matt, you're awesome, dude.
So are you, Ben?
Right? We do
Thanks
this
for speaking up today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We do this for one reason alone. Tell them what that is.
Man, we just want to be part of your win.